Okay, good evening to you all. Today is our day 7 of this 3 weeks basics computer training, and inshallah, today we are going to have the following outlines. One, we'll have a recap like always on what we discussed yesterday, that is day 6, and we'll talk about today. We are going to talk about keyboard shortcuts A to Z. That's what we are going to discuss about. So the keyboard shortcuts. Get a maybe sheet of paper and write whatever you want to write about this, and we'll have question and answer, and we'll call it a day. So what we did yesterday, if you can recall, yesterday we started talking about keyboard. We did introduction to keyboard keys, introduction to Microsoft Word, what Microsoft Word can do, and Microsoft Word interface. And also yesterday, of course, we did talk about fingers on keyboard, which I believe some of you started putting your fingers on a keyboard. So what we are going to discuss today, let's move to the keyboard shortcuts from A to Z. That's what we are going to talk about. Because as you can see, there are lots of characters on keyboard, but today our focus is only on A to Z. That's the only thing we are going to discuss about from A to Z. So keyboard has a lot of things. I already explained it yesterday, so I'm not going to start telling you about all that. But the shortcuts we are going to discuss about has to do with only control key. There are different shortcuts that has to do with function key, that has to do with alt key, that has to do with shift key, that has to do with control shift, control alt, and the rest. So today the shortcuts we are going to talk about has to do with only control. That is CTRL, that's control. So we are going to do control A, control B, control C, and the rest. You're going to learn it today. And this is something that you need to please memorize it. And whenever you are asked, you memorize it. Because in my company, that's our like national anthem. So if you don't know that at all, then you don't belong to the place. You must memorize it. When you were asked what is control A, B, up to Z, you can be able to say what it is. So let's start with this control. Today we are only mentioning them. You are going to write it. We are only mentioning them, explaining about them. You will have a practical about each of the key. Don't worry, you will have a practical about that. But today, now we want you to know it and we want you to memorize it. Then when we are doing the practical, you already know what every key did and you'll just execute or apply what you learned. So let's start with number 1, which is A. As we all know, is A, that what is style. So control A. If I say A, I mean control A. Don't just think I'm talking about A. We are talking about shortcut keys in relation to control key. That is control A. It means you hold control, then you click on A. Not that you click on A and then you hold control. It's like you hold your control with one hand, and you click A with the other hand. That's how you applied all these shortcuts, please. So we have control A, which is highlight all. Highlight all is that you want to highlight everything that you have in your document. This control, some of them only applied within Microsoft Word, while some of them is universal throughout computer. You can use the control. Control A is among them. If I want to highlight everything in a folder, is it a file or is it maybe videos, audios, a text, whatever? Once I click Control A, even in a browser, if you click Control A, it's highlighting everything for you. So that's the powerful feature of Control A. Control A is applied almost everywhere you use Control A, is highlight all. We have Control B. Control B is bold. That's what Control B is all about. Control B is bold, is to make your text to be thick. That is, if it is dark, to be darker. If it is red, to be, let's say, we have redder. I don't know if there is that word redder. So if it is red, it will be more red. If it is blue, more blue. If it is white, more white. Whatever it is, when you click bold, you are bolding the text. So bold only applied in Microsoft, or you are just bolding something with B, Control B, bold. Control C is copy. We all know what copy is. We did copy and paste, if you can recall, in our previous class, so you know what copy is. So I did right click then. I right click, I copied, but now you just click Control C. Then we have D. D stand for font style. Don't worry, there are lots of font style that you can execute when you click Control D. You can put the superscript, you can put the subscript, you can put a lot of things using Control D. That's what Control D did. Then we have centralized, that is Control E. Control E stands for centralized. If I want to make something at the center, then I click Control E, then it will be at the center, at the middle. For example, I'm writing something, I want it to be at the middle, then I will click Control E, then it will take it to the middle of whatever I'm using. We have F, that is Control F, stand for find. Find, if you want to find something within a text, even in a browser, if you click Control F, you are trying to find something. It can be a text that you want to find, maybe a particular word or particular sentence within a bulky text. Just click Control F and write whatever you want to find. You will find it with Control F. So that's what Control F did. Another thing that we have is Control G, that is G, go to. So for G, it will take you to wherever you want to go, especially pages. Maybe I have a document with 200 pages and I want to go directly to page 117. I don't need to keep scrolling until I reach 117. All I need to do is to click Control G, then I will write 117 and press enter. Then it will take me to that page. That's what go to is all about. Then we have Control. Okay, we have H. So let's talk about H before we move to I. So for Control H, we have replace. Replace. If we want to replace something, maybe I have a document, I want to replace a particular word in the document. All I need is to click Control H and just write whatever you want to write and replace it with whatever you want to replace. Don't worry, all we need from you now is to know all this, memorize all this. You are going to have a practical session on this. So don't worry, even if you didn't understand what these controls did after I explained, don't worry, you will have a practical session on that, and don't worry. Then we have I. I is italic. We all know what italic is, the text, the way text will bend and look stylish. That was italic is all about. And if you want to make your text to look like that, you click Control I. That is italic. Then we have Control J, which is justify. Control J is justify. Sometimes when you are writing a text in a Microsoft Word, you'll see that when you have, for example, let's say 10 rows, you see that row 2 didn't reach the edge of the line, then row 3 begins. And row 4 is not at the same age with row 5, this and that. You see your lines at the edge of your text will not look straight. They are not straight. They just, this one is longer, this one is shorter, this one is longer, this one is short. So if you want to justify the lines that you have in your document, you click Control J. It will stretch the lines and make it looks good. Everything will looks great and it will looks at the same age. That's what Control J is all about. Control K is used to insert a hyperlink. A hyperlink is a way of storing a document, or is a way of attaching a document inside Microsoft Word. You can attach a Microsoft Excel in the document. You can attach image. You can attach a text. You can even attach a Microsoft Word document inside Microsoft Word, and it will just be a link. Like we see a website, when you click a website to take you to a website, that hyperlink is just a link. Once you click on the link, it will take you to where you want to go, or it will take you to the file that you want to open within Microsoft Word. That's what hyperlink is all about. So Control K is used to do that. We have control L. We use control L for left. You know, we have left alignment. So that's what control M did for us. It aligned the text from the what? Left hand side or to the left hand side. We have control M, which is tab. So we discussed about tab key yesterday. Tab key is, it will help you to go to move forward or to do this. So control M did that in Microsoft, and you will see what it does during the training. We have N, which is control N is new. New, that means new document, is to open new document. So control N, even if you are in a folder, explorer, whatever, or in a browser, you click control N, it will open new file for you, every time. So control N is almost a universal shortcut in in computer, especially in Windows. So control N has universal command. So another one, N, we have control O. So for the O, we have open. That's control O, is to open a document. So if I have an existing document that I want to open, I will just click control O. Then it will navigate me to where I will open that file if I want to. Then we have control P, which is print. We all know what control P did, is to print something. Then we have control Q, which is 1.1 line space. 1.15 line space. So it's just a line space that we have. We have a line space. So if you want to increase, you know, we all have double line space. You know double line space. We all know double line space. So we have double line space, we have single line space, and we have 1.5 line space. We also have 1.15 line space. Double line space is 2.0 line space. We also have 2.5 line space, but the only line space that we have is shortcuts, is 1.15 line space, which is control Q. So we have control R, which is right. If we want to put the right alignment of our text to take it to the right hand side, we use control R. We have control S, which is save. We all know control S because it saves us and we save files using it. So that's what control S is. We have control T, which is left indentation. So if you want to indent some lines in a document, we use control T for us to do that. We have control U, which is underline. We have control U, which is underline. To underline a text, we use control U. We have control V. We all know copy and paste. We know copy and paste. So paste is the V. That is control V. Then we have control W, which is to close a window. So now if I click control W, it will close whatever I'm using on my laptop. That what control W did for you. We have control X, which is to cut. Control X is to cut something, not copy now. If we want to cut something, not duplicating it by copying it, if we want to cut it and move it from one place to another, we use control X in order for us to cut. Then we have control Y, which is redo. We have a redo, control Y, and we have control Z, which is undo. So we have a redo and we have undo. We have a redo and we have undo. So this is exactly where we are going to stop, because this is all what we are going to do today, and you have enough time. I think I will leave you with it. If you have a question, you can ask just before 9:40. Use that time to memorize this, because usually we give 5 to 10 minutes to people in our office to memorize this. This is like I told you, it's our national anthem in our office. If you don't know this, you didn't memorize this, definitely you don't belong to that place. Even if you are an intern in the office, you must memorize these shortcuts and have them in your head like ABCD. So please use the remaining time that we have today, since I saved much time for you. Please memorize them. Make sure that once I say control K, you know what it means. When I say control Q, you know what it is. When I say Control D, you exactly know what it is. So know this, and it will help you and it will assist you to do a lot of things in your on a computer. So I think if you have a question, you can ask your question. Let me check the chat. If you don't, I think we can call it a day. So this is the question and answer. And I'm the one, let's just say, sitting on the Q&A, reading your chats. If you put something, then I'll reply you. So please, if you have a question, you ask your question. If you don't have any question, then we can call it a day. Yeah, I say left indentation. You see, if you indent a text, sometimes when you write a paragraph and you want to indent the paragraph, the first line will remain where it is. But when you indent it, all the remaining lines except the first line will move to the right hand side. That's the indentation. You indent the other lines apart from the first line in a text. So that's left indentation. Don't worry, we will have a practical session on each and every one of these shortcuts and you will know what it is. Please, if you have a question, you can ask. If you don't have a question, we can call it a day. If you have a question, you can ask. So thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't worry, all that question, if you have it, you can ask. Please ask it when we are doing the practical. But today, let's just call it a day. I think we don't have much to say. Let's stop here. Maybe tomorrow we can continue. But please, I only save this time for you to memorize this. Use the remaining minutes that we have and memorize all these. Have them in your head. Believe me, it will help you a lot. So please do that. And we call it a day. Thank you so much and have a wonderful dream. Bye bye.